it went back to, you know, the hair salon. It went back to the dealerships. It went back to the rental car business. It went back to the business attorney. That video took it all the way back.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, she really seen 7 figures before 2020, before 2024. Like, I seen the testimonials. I seen the people. I seen, you know, all the lives that you changed. I seen the people you helping get grants. I seen people you helping get started in business. I want to ask you, what's one of the biggest misconceptions people have when they think about getting started in business? Like,
when your structure isn't right from the beginning, either you're going to pay now, you're going to pay later. If you pay later, you're going to pay more. So if you don't have your proper structure, number one, you're out here exposing all your personal assets. Number two, you don't have a real business. So what are you building on? You're not building, there's no foundation.
Right.
You can't go and there's no business years, there's no nothing because you haven't officially formed your business.
Right. You do really well on social media by just being yourself, just, you know, being fun. Do you think that's a strategy that everybody should follow, or that just works out for specifically for you?
Be who you are. Because once you're off, like once you're you,
Yeah.
you're gonna find your own tribe.
Yeah.
If you, I mean, who else you gonna be like?
I agree. I did $3,000 a day all year long. I listened to you in January 2024, and in January 2025, I hit $1 million. Boom. I went and bought some equipment, bought a house, whatever, invested the money. I need to protect this stuff. Like, what's my next step? What should I do?
Either you want to have a holding company or you want to look into a trust.
Okay.
To separate your assets. The person that can create the liability will be you. So Boone's driving down the street, you hydroplane, you kill someone, they get a $3 million judgment against you, but you only had $1 million insurance policy.
Right.
Boone's on the hook for $2 million. They're gonna take all your assets because Boone caused the liability.
But all my stuff is over here.
So your assets need to be either in a holding company or a trust, not in Boone's name. In business, something will go wrong. You are going to make a mistake. Your employee will make, something's going to go wrong. So when you get hit, my job is to show you how do you take the smallest loss. You're going to lose something.
Don't just quit on your business. You know, tap in with people like Joi to help you understand where your marketing should be changed or how you should set these things up, or get into certain types of grants where they can help you, put you in stores, do different things that can really change everything. Like, you really one move away or 1 year, like all of that stuff is really just one little situation and your whole life
changes.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Funded and Closed podcast. This is a podcast where myself, Derek Boone, I put together to help individuals like you who want to get started in business, want to get started in real estate, want to get started in just something to take themselves to the next level, but don't know exactly how or what to do. So on this podcast, we have conversations with individuals that are giving out plays, giving out game, but most importantly, just sharing their story and how they got started without having millions and millions and millions of dollars started. I was, when I first got started in real estate, I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, and like Bigger Pockets, the one thing, and it would be somebody on there was like, yo, I own 1 million properties. How you got started? Oh, I had a $5 million retirement account. Like, well, shit. That kind of like puts this border up. Well, I guess I can't listen to this episode.
Right.
So I always wanted to have conversations where people can be like, oh, I think I can actually do that because it's relatable. So, you know, and I'm not knocking how they got started because they started working at a crazy job and they got money sent like that. That's their story. But majority don't have. Somebody told me there's more people trying to go from 0 to 1 than there are people trying to go from 8 to 10. So I want to help those people that's going from 0 to 1 as much as possible because, you know, it is ways out here, like especially it helped out for me. So without further ado, I want to introduce, I'm excited, super excited about this episode because as you guys know, I only have conversations with people that I have conversations with in general. Like, you're not going to see me doing this episode with somebody that I don't know already, or somebody that I don't really care for. Like, these are people that I actually do business with, that I actually seen build their company up, that I actually, you know, enjoy having conversations with, or I talk to on a regular outside of that. And this is none other. I'm excited about this episode with this person because they're really, 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 really a good friend. We really do business together. We really just have conversations. I've seen them. Yo, you know, it's funny, like, I tell you this all the time, but I knew your story when you told me about it. But I tell you this all the time, but when you played that video, I'm like, Oh, she official. Like, cause you know how you see somebody, you like, oh, they get into it.
Right.
But then you see somebody be, oh, this ain't no pandemic stuff. Like, this really like, that's what it's about. Like, no offense to the pandemic people, pandemic business boomers, how you say, the pandemic babies. No offense, cause y'all doing y'all thing. But like, for me, I got started in real estate before the pandemic. You got started in businesses before that. Like, I love that because you seen a whole bunch of different ups and flows, and I think that's good. So before we get deep into the episode, I'd like to introduce my friend, my business bestie, Miss Joi Hunt. What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. How you feeling?
I'm feeling awesome.
Thank you for coming to Philly.
It's cool.
Yeah. You about to go and get you a Philly cheesesteak and everything.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So before we go in and get too knee deep into it, I want you to share, who you are, what you do, and pretty much how you got started.
Okay, I'm Joi. I'm your business bestie. I'm a business attorney and serial entrepreneur, and I help entrepreneurs start, fund, and market their business to the bank.
I love that. So let's just go back, because I'm gonna share some of your stuff because you're gonna be too modest. So I'm watching this masterclass, right? And I'm watching, what's your challenge, your masterclass? I'm watching something that you was having. And you played this 5 or 7 minute video, and it went all the way back to the beginning. I'm like, wait a minute. She don't just help people, because people get it confused. They think that you just help people create their LLCs, get grants, get funded, which is dope. That's what you do now.
Right,
That's what's dope.
Right.
But people don't understand that you're really a business expert. It went back to, the hair salon. It went back to the dealerships. It went back to the rental car business. It went back to the business attorney. That video took it all the way back. Right. And I'm like, oh, she really seen 7 figures before 2020, before 2024. Like, so I want you to touch on, like, what was some of the things you did when you first got started, like, in entrepreneurship?
I first started as being an attorney.
Okay.
So I worked for a firm, and then I realized how much I was getting paid and how much they were billing me at. And I was like, nah, I'm going to go out. I'm going to do my own thing.
So when you were an attorney but you work for, what they call it, law firm, brokerage, or just law firm?
Law firm.
They're billing $250 an hour, whatever it is, but you're not getting it.
Correct.
Damn.
So if I'm getting paid $250 an hour, they're billing at like $750 an hour.
Damn. So they really eating it, but you doing all the legwork.
Correct.
Which is how the game goes.
That's what it is.
That's how the game goes.
But, growing up, you're taught, go to school, get that 6-figure job. And I had that 6-figure job, and 6 figures when you're single with taxes, it wasn't no money.
Right,
and I was like, there has to be more than this.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to just go on my own.
Right.
So I saved up 6 months living expenses, and I just said, I'm just doing my own thing.
So what was your own thing? What was the next thing you did?
So I started my own law practice, the Hunt Law Group.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's dope. Now, when did you transition? Because this is part of the story I know, and this is where it get good. When did you transition to the whole hair thing? Because when I seen that video, you had a line from like the front door all the way around the block. Like how did?
So I started Super Weave Express, Houston's home.
What do you call it?
Super Weave Express.
Super Weave Express. Okay.
Houston's home on $50 sewing. So I brought the $50 sewing concept to Houston. And it took us about like 6 to 8 months. People, because like $50 sewing, what's that? Because back then sewing was like starting at $200.
Yeah.
But All-Star Weekend hit, and it was just like over from there.
And this is in Houston.
So we went from 1 location to like 5 locations in 2 years.
$50. So how were you guys able to do that? $50 just sound like,
because the whole goal is for you not to get the $50 sewing. The $50 sewing is to get you in the door, and then we upsell you to a better package.
Oh, okay. So that's crafty. So when it was some people that was just getting it, like just stick to the 50.
Correct.
But a lot of people will upgrade to the 2-and-9 sewing or whatever it is.
Correct.
Would you guys sell a better not better hairstyle, but a different hairstyle? Or are you selling like products?
So what made us, I think, hit was, number one, I did everything opposite of what a regular salon was. So we're open 7 days a week. Walk-ins were welcomed. Staff had to wear 5 pieces of makeup, fashion forward clothing, no bonnets, no scarves, no smocks. You can buy hair also. We did everything color sewing, but I had them trained all one way. So everyone's sewing was consistent. So whether you went to this girl or that girl, it
didn't
all
matter.
Correct. And so it was like more of a corporate feel, and you came in, there's paperwork, there's waivers. Like I made it like more of like a structure feel versus just going to a regular salon.
That's dope. This super sidebar, but I mean, it's all going to tie in. What do you think the difference from what you guys were doing back? What year was this?
2012.
What do you think you guys were doing back in 2012 that compared to the hair salons you may be seeing now, where they're kind of like? I know you're enjoying this episode. I know you're getting a lot of game and a lot of value, a lot of information. But is it okay for me to give you even more value? Is it okay for me to give you more information? So if you just said yes, what I want to do is I want to give you access to a free training that I'm having, 100% free. You can log in. If you don't like, you can log off. It's 100% free. In this training, I'm going to show you guys the 4 steps that I utilize to be able to buy properties, rent properties, make money on property. Like this building we're in right now is 100% mine. And we do that. And I have done that doing those 4 simple steps. So what I want you guys to do is go to fundedandclosed.com, just like the podcast, but fundedandclosed.com. And you're going to be able to register for the free training. Like I said, 100% free. And it's going to give you those 4 steps that I utilize to build my real estate empire. And you can do this exactly where you at right now. So look, we're going to get back to the episode. But before we go ahead and finish, press pause, go to that website, go ahead and RSVP for the training. And I'm going to see you soon. Let's get to it.
Everywhere. I'm sorry.
I mean, call it spade a spade. Like, I don't go in hair salons, but like from what I see and what I hear about, it be like all over the place. First, they don't even let you do walking. It gotta be an appointment, gotta be super. You gotta be spending $400. It just be sounding like, and then other girls be complaining. They get the hey boo text like, oh man, dang, she spun me again, or I'm about to spend $300 with you, but you're not even on time. What do you think is different from what y'all was doing to what these girls doing now?
What these girls are doing now is like a hustle. For me, I believe, number one, that the regular salon experience is just gone. Like we're true cosmetologists who like really perfected their craft, enjoyed what they're doing. Now it's just, they don't do shampoos. They doing it out their house. There's no kind of integrity. Yeah. I got to pay a deposit. You late. It's just the whole professionalism to me as a whole is gone. But I ran my salons like the other salons. So like you come in as a cashier, we had a braider, we had a takedown, like a whole system. So all my stylists really did was like the sewings or the curls or the cut. We had like, you kind of with all these different stops before you got to her chair.
I like that. So ladies, if you watching this now, take that game because it was working. I seen the footage. The line was around the block. I'm talking about It looked like a Jordan release. When Jordans was like hot, it looked like a Jordan release. The line was around the block. That's crazy. So I don't know if you transitioned into the cars or the cars was simultaneously.
Transitioned into the cars. Okay. So I could not find anyone to duplicate me as far as management. So like managing over 100 employees and they're all girls, and she looked at me and it was a lot. Damn. So I need to find something different. Yeah. So at the time, my son's father, we lost a lot of money. He was trying to buy cars and do all this stuff and got swindled with some money. But I was like, well, now you know everything not to do. So why, now that we know what not to do, let's just start the business. Yeah. So we bought a whole bunch of cars and we were waiting on the title. And we never got the title. So I'm like, So we ended up starting a car dealership because he already liked cars. And so then we kind of transitioned down. And then right when COVID hit, we closed our last location down. Okay.
So you guys are renting some of them out too, right?
We also started a rental car company.
You think doing the rentals is better than a dealership, or like it just?
No. No. Because every idea that you think of is not going to be a good idea.
That's a fact.
Okay. So I came up with the idea of let's do the rental car game the opposite way. Okay. So you know how you got to have a credit card? Just have insurance. Like a buy and pay here. Just have an insurance and a license, and we'll rent you a car. You don't have to have a major credit card. Yeah. The problem is the clientele that we attracted. Yes, they had the money, But there's a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So I had a car in a high-speed police chase and crashed into a tree with kids in the back. It was just, yes. I had, in 1 month, I had one car caught on fire mysteriously in Mississippi. I had another one try to steal a Chevy Impala.
From Houston to Mississippi?
Yes.
How far is that?
Far. Shouldn't have been there. I had a mom rent a car and let her daughter drive the car, and she was speeding, ran into a tree. Both people in the emergency room. And then I had a high-speed police chase from a guy in a $150,000 car.
Damn.
In a tree. So I was like, for liability, I was like, this was probably the worst one we could have done. So for liability reasons, now I see why you require to have a credit card, because it's so much other stuff. So as an attorney, I was like, we need to I see the lawsuit coming this way. Let's just let this one go.
The rental car business is like a good business, and it's tough at the same time. Like if you got it and crack the code, like you can make some money. I know a couple of people that do, but I did rental car businesses for like a couple months, and I had 2 or 3 cars on there, like a Charger, Impala, and it was doing good. It was like free money, easy money. The problem is it's good until it's good. But when that stuff happens, it's always the worst stuff. It's like nobody ever just get a flat tire. It's always something crazy. I had this one person, man, he did donuts, burnt all 4 tires out of my Charger, had a scat pack. Then I had this one guy. This was the one. Was it this one? I think it was this one or the one right after this. This one had me like, yeah, I'm done with this. I had an Impala. And then they had rented the Impala. And I was doing like, they can pick it up on their own. So they picked up the Impala. And when it was time to drop it back off, I'm like, okay, where y'all at? Like, they're like, oh, we almost there. I'm from Philly. I know when somebody's spinning me. I'm like, all right, I see where this about to go. So I'm checking the GPS, Delaware. I'm in Philly. Y'all not on y'all way. Where y'all? No, we almost there. Boom. Then he stopped answering the phone. Next thing you know, they popped up. So in Philly, we got North Philly, West Philly, South Philly, Uptown. So they was in North Philly. This is where like all my houses at. So when they dropped the look, I already knew exactly where they was at. So I pull up there, right? Because at this point, it remind you, they supposed to drop the car.
They knew you was pulling up. You was just pulling up.
They didn't know I was pulling up. Okay. Because they kept trying. They stopped answering the phone at this point. So it's like 9, 10 o'clock at night. They supposed to drop the car off at 9. All right, like 9:15, 9:30 hit, and then that's when I caught the GPS. They stopped answering around 10. So I just went up there by myself at 10 o'clock. Probably the dumbest thing. Sometimes I be doing stuff. When I'm mad, I just kind of so I went up there, and this story sounds extra. I'm not gonna lie. This sounds crazy. I'm driving there, and then remind you, like that's like my area, all my house, all my stuff. I seen one of the crackheads I know just around. So I said, look, I need you to go with me real quick. I walk up on them. Why the people in the car wasn't the people that rented the car? They had a fake name that rented the car. It was some lady. It was these 2 dudes and this girl. I'm snapping. We go arguing, going back and forth. I'm like, get out the car, all this. Then I look around the car. I'm like, the car was hit up. Like they got into an accident. It was side swipe.
It's a lot.
We having this whole scene, and then they end up like it went left. But I ended up getting the car back. By the time I took the car, we ended up having to tow the car. Kind of find out, long story short, all 4 tires was messed up. They swapped the tires out and sold them. And got some. I'm like, why are these tires different? They bald. Swapped out all 4 tires. Then the car I had to end up getting it towed because the car just wasn't driving right. Transmission was bad. They think they swapped the train out.
Right.
Oh, I'm like, yeah, I ain't doing this no more. And then the way I was using Toro, it was hard to kind of the tires thing was cool. It was hard to justify the transmission thing. So I didn't even really win that case. But people that's watching it, y'all know I probably messed up. I don't know, but I got money for the tires in a dent, but I couldn't get money for the transmission. So I ended up getting the transmission fixed. I always know somebody. So I ended up getting transmission fixed, not that expensive. It's a Chevy. It wasn't that high. But that's when I was like, I'm done with that. I ended up getting that car fixed, and I just gave it to my sister, and then she got a new car. But I say all that to say is that rental business.
Yeah. And we didn't do Turo. We did I cut out the middleman. So like all that responsibility. Right. So I was
at least
like,
I got the tire money, debt money. Dang. Mm-hmm. So after the whole car thing, like what was your next move? Like what did you transition to?
The next move was this. I didn't have any money.
And let me ask you this, right? So you got rid of the car rental business, you got rid of that stuff, and you just said you wanted to get right. If you don't mind, like go touch into your story, like how, like what happened in that in between time. You don't mind?
There is no in between time. We have a dealership. We had a car rental with the dealership. Yeah. The dealership is where the money's at. In-house finance. Right. That's where the money is at to be made.
Got you. So and then you and your son's father, y'all split, and that's when you just got right into the whole business.
Correct.
So let me ask you this, right? What and that's what I love about you now. Like you helping so many people just get started in business, get their stuff going. Like I seen the testimonies, I seen the people, I seen, all the lives that you changed. And I seen the people you helping get grants, I seen people you helping get started in business. I want to ask you, what's one of the biggest misconceptions people have when they think about getting started in business? Like a lot of people running this stuff just mom and pop, just on regular, and they don't want to go get everything legit. Like what's one of the things that people think that's the problem? It ain't really that deep.
Think that's a problem that's not that deep?
Like not getting a LLC situated.
That's the problem. When your structure isn't right from the beginning, either you're gonna pay now, you're gonna pay later. If you pay later, you're gonna pay more. So if you don't have your proper structure, number one, you're out here exposing all your personal assets. So the money in your bank account, your home, your car, if something goes wrong, you're gonna lose that. Number two, you don't have a real business. So what are you building on? You're not building, there's no foundation.
Right.
You can't go and there's no business years, there's no nothing because you haven't officially formed your business.
Right. Yeah, that's so when people getting started, like a lot of people think that the LLC is the hardest part, but like you said, that's the easiest part.
That's the easy part.
But the thing is, I don't get why people don't just go ahead and do it. The LLC be $200, $300, and I'm like, yo, what you done? We just running, we just moving around. Like, how long you been just moving around? Oh, like 2 years, 3 years. Like, I know you see it way more than I see it.
Yeah. The biggest conception is that I have to be like a real business to then have an LLC. Like, I'm not big enough yet for an LLC. And I'm like, yes, like from the beginning, because number one, you're building all this equity in your business name, and your name isn't even reserved in the state that you're in. So you're doing all this stuff backwards just to have to pay more to fix it or undo it later on.
And you might not even have that name.
Correct.
So you run this whole business and then you finally get your LLC and that name not even available. That happened to one of my friends.
It happens all the time. So
they got to do production.
Got to repackage, rebrand, get a new name. It's like it's a mess.
His stuff was like a podcast. And he just did like 4 episodes. It wasn't that deep back, but like repackaged, like you selling products, I'd be pissed off. I'd be super hot. So when it comes to another thing you talk a lot about is like the marketing. Like with me, I love the funding. I hate the funding too at the same time. I think funding is good when you got it matched up with good marketing.
Right.
But people think, and I feel like you share the same, like people think that getting $100,000 in funding, $1 million in funding is going to solve all these problems. Correct. But if you don't have good marketing, you're going to get all this funding, blow it all, and then you back in square one. You're worse.
Correct.
Because now you down negative or whatever you got funding. Like, what's your tips, what's your thoughts, like ideas for people that's, business just a little slow, just marketing wise?
My tip is to always go with make money by Monday. So sell your product and or service, however it is now, just to go make a sale to make sure that you have proof of concept that somebody actually wants your product and or service. So you want to market the problem. So sell the problem, and then you are the solution.
Right.
Once you realize what problem you're solving, it doesn't have to be life or death, just what problem are you solving? Now, where are all those people with that problem? And then you go put your business right there, and then you're going to have a whole bunch of clientele real quick.
You think people nowadays in this whole 2024, 2025, like how social media, they not having the skills you had back in 2012, 2011, Is it hurting people?
Yes, and I'm back in 2004.
2000.
I'm auntie old.
2004, like, because they just think like, oh, I'm just post something and it's
right.
Just,
I think
gonna click.
This whole social media thing, I think, gives a bad rap to business that I'm just gonna just get the website, get the inventory, get the page, and then it's just like that's not money what clicking. It is, right?
It for sure don't work out. It for sure don't work out like that. So do you think now? But social media is important though.
Very important, because that's how you can get found for free. Like at my salons, I was paying $30,000-$40,000 a month to be on the radio.
How much?
$30,000-$40,000 a month just from radio ads. We getting suites at the Beyonce concert, selling them on the radio as like, freebies. Like I paid a lot of money in marketing just to get people to know. It takes a lot to get people to know who you are.
Right.
And so now on social media for free, someone can just find you and buy. Like that to me is insane. Right. So in my master classes, I teach about how do you make your page findable and attractive when someone lands on it. They're like, ooh, I want to buy from you.
You do really well on social media while just being yourself, just, being fun. Do you think that's a strategy that everybody should follow, or that just works out specifically for you?
No, I think everyone should be who you are. Because once you're off, like once you're you, you're going to find your own tribe.
Yeah.
Who else you going to be like?
I agree 100%. Do you think building a personal brand around your business or your products and stuff, or just keep it strictly like black and white? If you, let's say for example, your business is selling $50 weave, right? Do you think that should be tied in with a personal brand and like show more of you, or just strictly just show the $50 weave?
I think it depends on the person.
Okay.
So this is my first business that I've been the face of. I've always been behind the scenes. No one really knew what I own unless you knew me. Like if you come to my salons, I'm saying I'm a manager. My face was nowhere on there. I like to have more of a corporate tone. And so that's how I've always done my marketing.
Right.
I think it depends on who you are.
Was that a culture shock, like doing that, like switching from?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
wow.
I was
like, how did you transition with that?
Rent was due on the first, so I didn't have no money for an influencer to go say, hey, so I had to, you got to do what you got to do.
That's a fact. Like a lot of people, I've seen this where people like, they'll have brick and mortar businesses, they selling whatever, and then they like, yo, you got to now make a video for yourself. They like, I got to do what?
Right.
Wait, I got to put the camera on me. Right. They're like, what? Like, how was that first video?
The first video, it was, I'm not going to lie, it was rough. I did not know, like, I'm always behind the scenes. So it was weird. Like, am I just talking in the camera? Like, and then I go looking at other people and I'm like, I couldn't just find my mix. I just started just being, first I was real boring. When I say I was boring, I used to have a whiteboard and I had like a little polo shirt that had the firm on there, my logo. And I was doing like these 5-minute, because I'm like, there's no way.
5 minutes on Instagram? Or this
yes.
Damn.
Yes. And my best friend, she was like, friend, you're boring. And I'm like, boring? And she was like, I mean, the stuff you're talking about is boring and your videos are just boring. And I said, oh, okay. I'll make them unboring. So I started dancing. So I was just doing different stuff. And that's how I found like what worked for me. So I'm like, let me take the content and then just shorten it. Because I'm already talking about complex stuff in 5 minutes with a whiteboard and the LLC and this and that. Like, let me just make it simpler for people.
5 minutes is a long time. 5 minutes, that's YouTube. That's super. And a whiteboard too. I ain't gonna lie, I probably wouldn't watch that.
If you scroll down, you're gonna be like, girl, you
still got those up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do that today. Dang. So I'm laughing because I'm trying to picture you staying on a whiteboard.
Oh, whiteboard and say, here's the LLC and then the DBA. Yes.
I can't even picture that for 5 hours.
In a black polo.
No dancing, no nothing.
No nothing. Just because my background is law, attorney. So we are real conservative and business. Yeah. And so I came on as attorney and that's boring. Yeah. And I'm already teaching boring stuff. Yeah. So like, now let me funk it up. So like, let me make it so that's fun so you want to listen to it. So let me put my own spot. So I just started doing different crazy things. And then that's what I saw worked.
I never thought about it like that. I do like that about you. You say, like, even with the monkey thing, like you say stuff that's needed and necessary, but not sexy as I would say, not fun as I say, but you turn into like, oh, this is fun. Like even with the LLCs, the asset protection, what I want to get into next, the asset protections, the trust and things like that. But like when I'm watching your classes or, you know, watching the lives, I'm like, it's interesting, but it's regular, boring stuff that the regular everyday, did a lot of them have any backlash? Like, why are you doing and stuff like that? Like other lawyers or other attorneys or just other professionals?
I don't really listen to, you know, I'm sure I have backlash. I mean, they talked about Jesus, right? So I'm sure someone's saying something. I'll see a comment like, I don't see why you're dancing, talking about LLC. Like, girl, why are you on this page?
Right.
Like, just go ahead and go next.
Do your own thing. Like,
yeah.
So when, so I want to transition with the trust and the asset protection. So now let's say I got a business. I listen to you. I got my LLC situated. Boom. I listen to you, my marketing, Money by Mondays. I listen to that. Boom. Now all of a sudden we doing $3,000 a day. I'm on my way to about to do $1 million this year. Or I did $3,000 a day all year long. I listened to you in January 2024 and it's January 2025. I hit $1 million. Boom. I went and bought some equipment, bought a house, whatever, invested the money. I need to protect this stuff. Like, what's my next steps? What should I do?
Either you want to have a holding company or you want to look into a trust. Okay. To separate your assets from you and separate your assets from your business. So if you were to get sued or if your business got sued, you wouldn't lose your assets. Okay.
So if they sue the asset, they sue the trust, I'm perfectly fine.
They're not suing the trust. They're going to either the person that can create the liability will be you. So Boone's driving down the street, you hydroplane, you kill someone, they get a $3 million judgment against you, but you only had $1 million insurance policy. Right. Boone's on the hook for $2 million. So they're going to go say, okay, what's in Boone's name? What kind of car's in your name? What house is in your name? That watch, go ahead and run me that. They're going to take all your assets because Boone caused the liability.
But all my stuff is over here.
So your assets need to be either in a holding company or a trust, not in Boone's name.
So they can keep trying to come after me, but I really don't have
you ain't got nothing, right? So that's why you want to separate your assets from you. And then, so Boone's business, okay? Right. So the roof fell on the tenant and the tenant, broke their neck. So now they're suing you. You don't want to lose anything in the business name. So any kind of operating business you shouldn't operate and own the asset in the same entity. It needs to be separated. One entity owns the asset, one entity does business with the public.
That makes sense. So having more than one LLC.
Yes.
Do you think that they need to have does someone should have a bunch of LLCs or just the holding company, this one? Should they have, for example, what I do is I get back and forth about this. Every house I buy in a different LLC. And the reason I do it for different reasons. I don't know the legal reason why, but the reason I do it is so everything is separated. I like my stuff separated. So, and then all the houses that I buy them all messed up. Like this house, we spent a bag putting this together. And each bank has its own LLC, has its own account, but I might be able to get funding for that LLC specifically for that. And everything is separated. I was talking with this attorney and he was like, it kind of wasn't like a real one-on-one. He just was telling me, he said, you don't have to put every single thing in a different LLC because you got 50 houses, that's 50 different LLCs. He was like, you can put, what the heck was he saying? He was like, you can put you can batch them, put 5 here, but then put them all under, like you said, the holding company. I don't know that stuff like that. I'm gonna be honest, I just buy and do that. But he said you can put all under the holding company and that kind of to help. You still get the protection, but you don't have to worry about separating everything like that. I guess that's what he was.
So nothing's wrong with the separate. The separate, the more smaller everything is, think about it as the smaller your bucket, the less you can lose. So you want to have as many buckets as possible. So in business, something will go wrong. You are going to make a mistake. Your employee will something's going to go wrong. So when you get hit, my job is to show you how do you take the smallest loss. You're going to lose something. So if you have 5 homes in one bucket, that's
all 5 is up.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Or you could separate it where you can have one entity like a holding company own all of the assets, and then each place that you're renting could be either a separate LLC, or you can have one property management LLC that's collecting all the rent, but they don't own any of the assets. So if it were to get sued, it's not losing anything but the cash flow.
Oh, that makes sense then. That makes hella sense. So one last thing, I know you touch on grants and stuff. What's some grants that people like just everyday small business owner can tap into just to get their business started, or like if they want to get some type of funding, like what do you suggest?
FedEx has a grant every single year for small businesses. Amber grant for women, $10,000 grant every single month.
Amber grant.
Sephora has a program where they will, if you have any kind of beauty product, skin product, hair product, they'll do a 6-month boot camp where they bring you in, they help rebrand your business, teach you how to market it, and they'll put your product in Sephora to be sold.
Wait a minute. Hold up. So girls already going there.
Correct.
And a lot of girls that's going there already do makeup on the side in their kitchen.
Correct.
Oh yeah, homie. Say that again. Hell yeah. You might as well do that.
So Sephora has an accelerator program where they will take you and your brand. They're going to coach you for 6 months. Rebrand you. So however your packaging is, if your product needs to kind of, be a little spruced up, they're going to teach you how to market and brand. And then they're going to put your product in Sephora.
That's hot. How do they apply for that?
It's on Sephora's website.
Is it like...
It's an annual program every single year.
And there's a certain amount of people that can get approved, but it don't cost you nothing. You just apply.
Grants are free. Correct.
Oh, damn.
So some grants are money, and then some grants will be money and then placement in the store. Like Shea Moisture has another program, $100,000 grant if you have any kind of skin, beauty, or hair product for women. And it's like they're going to help you with the marketing and give you the money.
That's dope.
Because sometimes you got to just fine tune something to kind of get that mass appeal.
Yeah. I think that's just business in general. Like we all like one little tweak away.
Correct.
You make one little move, like even in the businesses and things you do and have done, it's probably like doing a $50 sewing, changing what you did at the dealerships, changing what you do now. Like it really only takes one. That's why I think people shouldn't quit. They should just keep trying to tweak a little bit, a little bit. And it changes everything. Like for me, it's some little things that I did that just open things up. Like I think I was telling you, like, for me and my marketing one time, I had changed like the headline, changed everything, changed the type of people that was coming in because I changed the headline. Right. Changed the whole trajectory of everything just because I changed the headline. So for people that's watching, like, don't just quit on your business. Tap in with people like Joi that help you understand where your marketing should be changed or how you should set these things up. Or get into certain types of grants where they can help you, put you in stores, do different things that can really change everything. Like you really one move away or 1 year, like all of that stuff is really just one little situation and your whole life
changes.
Whole life can change just overnight. So one thing we do before we kind of close up, I always ask people, I always believe in, buying assets, making money, reinvesting in the business. But what's something that you do that has nothing to do with money that you just love to do that I'll spend whatever on? Like me, I like to travel. And when I travel, I'll blow the bag. Like I'll do whatever. I just want to enjoy myself those 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Like what's some stuff that you do that has nothing to do with business?
I'm into makeup.
Okay.
Makeup. And if I like something, I like it. Okay. So if this the bag, or this just the bag. If that's the shoe, that's just the shoe. Like don't show me the small one.
You want what you want.
I want what I want. Right.
So all right, now look, how often are you in that mood?
So
is that like a daily? Like I need to go retail therapy daily?
No. So I do goals. So when I do this, like, okay, I want that. So when I do this, I'm going to reward myself with that.
That's good. All right. Last thing, and then we'll close it up. For women as I don't even say younger women, just women in general. What's some advice you have? Because what you just said was some game. Because I know a lot of women that just like, they might be feeling bad. Let me just go spend a whole bunch of money and do things like that. I like what you said. Like, I got a goal. Like, I'm not going to stop myself from getting what I really want, that bag or that, but I got a goal aligned to it. Like, what's some advice you can give just to women in general, just to help them out?
always be able to make your own money and be able to provide the lifestyle that you want on your own. So if you do happen to meet your Prince Charming, whatever your license is. So if you're a realtor, keep your realtor license active. You're a teacher, keep all that happening. So in case you have to leave, in case he gets sick and you got to hold the mortgage down, we don't just lose everything. So always have the ability to be able to provide for yourself, but provide the lifestyle that you want for yourself. A lot of times, we get stuck in this trap where we're looking for someone to give us something and then they can use that for control.
I know a lot of women that are in good situations where they might not pay the bills or they might have to do, but they don't really use that time to go ahead and start their own business or go back to school or learn Excel, something like that. I think what you said is good. Like, things can change.
Correct.
Things can change drastically. Like, the man you with may get sick, like you said, or the man you with may, like, sometimes we might just go through a down phase where this is life. It just stuff happens. And sometimes I've seen some men that just don't bounce back from that. They go through a down phase and it just mess up their confidence so much where that 6-month down phase turned into a couple years.
Right.
And obviously that affects everybody.
Correct.
So what you're saying is important. Like, use that time that you have when you're blessed to not have to worry about finances. All right, let me go ahead and buy this course. Let me go to, your mastermind, go to your class. Let me learn. Let me start putting, even if you don't want to turn into a $10 million business,
just do something.
Have some type of skills, because things can change drastically. And this is a whole nother thing, but the man will probably like you a hell of a lot more. Like, what you over there doing? Like, what you learning on? You about to go back to school? What business? Oh, you really selling stuff. You making some money. Like, it goes a whole lot further when we find out that y'all actually utilizing the time wisely to do other things. So,
and it's going to sharpen you, because iron sharpens iron. So if you see her doing, you're like, well, hold on. Like, she can't be outdoing me. Let me make sure I'm on my stuff.
Yo, it's funny how that happens, because as a man, I can't speak for all men. The solid men that's not haters, because there's some men that hate on their...
I know. I was married to one, sweetie. I was married to one for 10 years. I did 10 years.
You said 10 years like it was a big... Some men don't want their woman to excel further than them. Me personally, I don't care. Like,
wait, if you're someone that's getting fired up from this episode and just finally feeling like you're in a conversation that you always wanted to be a part of. A lot of us are in environments and our households and in relationships where you can't express that you want to be a millionaire, you want to make more money, you want to start businesses, because the person that you're around doesn't really understand what you're on. So what I advise for you guys to do is join a community where you can actually express yourself and learn and actually get poured back into. And that community is called the Funded and Closed Academy. This is an academy that I put together where you're going to be around other like-minded individuals, and you're going to be on live coaching calls with individuals like our guests, where we're going to show you guys how to get into real estate wholesale, how to flip properties, how to rent properties, how to get into Airbnbs, how to get into VRBOs, how to start different businesses, how to get your credit up over 700, how to get access to $50,000 to $100,000 in funding, how to so much things. And what you're going to do is you're going to be able to get access to all of this for only $97 per month. But what I'm going to do, instead of $97, if you join in right now, you're going to get access to everything for only $47 a month. Not to mention, we're going to give you access to an extra bonus, a 24-hour credit repair hack, which can get inquiries and derogatory marks offered within 24 hours. So text the number below or click the link in the description so you can join in now. Hopefully I'll see you on the coaching call.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever dated a woman that excelled more than you? Because you're saying you don't care, but have you ever dated someone that if you walked in the room, she got more play than you did, or she got more attention, or she made more money than you? Have you ever dated that?
Well, being in the field that we're in the position I'm in, it's hard to walk in the room and I get more attention than me. Not in that type of light, just because I'm always put myself out there, like just social media.
It's not. Okay. Have you met someone that made some more money than you?
I never dealt with somebody on a maybe had a better month, but like overall year,
made more money. Like she's making more money than you.
I don't think so.
Okay. Have you ever dated someone? You're boom, right?
Yeah.
If you dated Beyonce, ain't no one worried about boom, right? So have you ever dated someone that brought more to the table than you? And if the answer is no, you can't say that wouldn't bother me because you've never been in that position.
I can't say that though. Dang,
See,
I can't say that.
It's easy to say it without you having it.
Me personally,
right. You haven't. It's different, and I'm going to say this for this reason.
Okay.
Being a woman in that position, I'm not going to even say intimidates. You will run across a man who thinks it's not a problem, but then when you're in that situation where we're out and you're so used to boom boom, and all of a sudden the attention is somewhere else, it may make you feel a certain way. But you can't, as of now, you can't even imagine that because you don't go through that. But it may be, I'm just saying, not that it would affect you, but maybe just be a little different.
No. I see what you're saying. I've never been through that. I kind of want to go through that because I just want to see. So here's my thing. I feel like a relationship can only grow based on challenges and security.
Correct.
Things have to be challenged in order for growth. Security has to be involved for it to grow. So for example, if I say, all right, this is my logic. And I want your opinion on this.
Mm-hmm.
A woman only does more based on the security giver. I'm gonna break down. So if me and you together, right, and I say we just dealing, you do X, Y, and Z, whatever, and I say, hey, look, listen, let's just be together. All right, I'm gonna start doing more now. All right, look, listen, we might as well get a home together. I'm gonna start doing more now. Okay, let's have a kid. I'm gonna start doing more. Let's get married.
Why you go backwards? We got a house and a kid and then we got married?
I'm talking 2025. This is how stuff just be going sometimes.
And that's the problem. Out of order. That's the problem. That's why we jamming the Sexy Red and we out of order. You say house, kid, and then marriage. That was all right. Say marriage, kid. Okay, thank you.
But I was saying it based on relatability, though.
Who's relating to that? Is that the standard?
How many people you know got kids together and they not married?
I know a lot, but
so I'm just talking relatability. Okay. Related, like me saying, if I say everybody, how many people have kids right now? If people home won't raise their hand. If I say people married, the hands ain't gonna go up that much.
Okay.
Right. And I've been married and divorced, so I know I've seen both sides and I had them type of conversations. But what I've seen is, as soon as you say, hey, look, let's be together, it's like that security is just like, okay, I don't mind maybe cooking every day, or I don't mind doing this for you, or I don't mind. Then when you get to like, hey, let's get married, that's when I don't mind signing off on a loan for you. I don't mind. That's what I realize. And then also when it comes down to like challenges, when you challenge something, if y'all willing to make it work, y'all come out of that challenge way stronger.
Correct.
It's just how it goes. That's my opinion though.
You're right.
Okay. You scared me for a second.
No, the challenge is good, and if Beyonce were to date you because Jay-Z is gone, you may be like, I'm not tripping on B, because a strong man is not going to bother them.
If Beyonce dated me right now and Jay-Z was gone, I'll say, look, I'm quitting all of this. What I'm doing, what do we need to do to make this work? What do we do? What do we need to do? Do you need me to do some marketing behind the scenes? Like, I got some skills. You need to be a part of the asset.
So go ahead and start taking this. All this is gone. Your podcast, all your dreams, and everything that you wanted, all your dreams are gone to go follow what she wants to do.
It's not that all my dreams is gone. It may be put on pause. When you together with someone, y'all have to figure out what is. So you got 6-month goals, you got year goals, you got 5-year goals, right? The 6-month goal may be a lot more important than the 5-year goal right now. You get what I'm saying? So let's say, for example, you putting together you on this PR run and you putting together to go ahead and do the biggest, see you at the bank. This thing is going to be mega. Like, we trying to have the Wells Fargo Center. This might need to get put on pause because in our household, this is what's going to really change the dynamic for everything. And then I'll get back to this. My homie, his name Matthew Farini, right? Him and his wife, Fabiana, she has a thing called Queen Warrior.
She's in my neighbor. She's our kids used to go to the same school back.
Yeah, like that's folks.
Mm-hmm.
he's the guy. Like he like nationally awarded, him and his brother nationally awarded in kitchen and baths. Like you got to spend a check for him to even come outside for him to work with you. He put a lot of that stuff on pause because I see what this is. I'll come back to this. Let's get that. And I told him, he said that was a perfect move.
So let me ask you this. So,
I'm that kind of guy.
So you put all this on pause, and we are focusing on getting Beyonce to Mars, because that's the only place next she can go. She's done everything else. Okay.
I'll be on Mars too.
But then something happens, and now you and Beyonce split.
Okay.
So is it what should you get?
Well, I got asset protection.
But
so
no, I'm asking, since you put all these things on hold, and then you aren't able to be where you would be if you were doing this because you were helping her get to Mars, do you feel like that should be compensated, or she because you wasn't, singing, she doesn't get anything? Because what you're doing is what a lot of women do, and it's a regular marriage. I'm taking care of the kids. I'm the soccer mom. I'm taking care of the house. So you can go out there and hunt and be the man. And then it's always the men. The second that things hit is, oh, well, it's all mine. And you wasn't doing the work. So I was asking, do you think you should have been compensated for putting your life on hold to go help her get to Mars?
I think it should have been set up for me to get compensated regardless. So I can only speak how I move, right? So I understand that's how it happens with women, where they're just helping the spouse, helping do different things like that. I believe that everybody should be compensated or set up or should be able to win in certain lights, some way, somehow. Like, for example, with me, when I put together budgets for my properties, when that demo line for demolition or cleanup, my little cousins, they're the ones on the contract for that. So they handle that. So it's set up for every person to go in and win. For example, like with my ex-wife, I went ahead and added her name to houses where if something happened, your name is already on there. You get what I mean? So
if her name wasn't on there, would you have still given her?
What you mean?
If her name wasn't on the house and you sold the house, and if there was a way that you didn't have to give her the money.
Oh yeah, I sold it, cause y'all. Okay. Yeah. But just so we don't even have to have a conversation here, you're already on it. So we don't even have to worry about that. But that's just how I move. So me, let's say dealing with Beyonce, I would want to set up to where, hey, look, listen, I'm a charge of marketing department. Gotcha. My LLC handles marketing department. That way we don't even have to worry that you're going to help me out or whatever. It's just set up that way.
That's good. So to all the women that are out there who are just stay-at-home moms, cooking and cleaning and being a soccer mom, what would you tell them to tell their husbands as a man as to how they should set things up? So in case something happens, it's not like she wasn't doing anything, that she's compensated for, putting her dreams on hold to help him get his dreams. From a man, what would you tell them to do? What
I would tell them to create their own LLC. Have their own LLC. If the person's name is Jane Smith, JS Consulting, she got her own LLC. And whatever that man does, have a conversation with him to see how you can help. And then your LLC can be incorporated in as a independent contractor, somebody that can get paid out from that. So when things blow up, I don't have to ask you for money. We just getting compensated out of that. That's just what I suggest. So if he's in real estate, hey, how can I?
If he's not an entrepreneur, he works a 9 to 5, and her job is the kids.
Oh, that's difficult. That's hard. Then
she's the kids in the home.
Points off a 9 to 5, like. I don't know. I don't know. How do you get points off a 9 to 5? Maybe what would you suggest?
I'm asking the man.
I think she should have had a conversation with the man. Be like, okay, if you are, so she'll stay home mom.
Because normally the law is 50% of what you earn.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
What she should get. And then most women are going to say that's bullshit. Because why? Because she's not out here. But I don't think you understand what sometimes.
No, it's the standard is bullshit. I don't think the idea that no.
It's the standard is bullshit.
The standard is bullshit.
Okay, why is the standard bullshit?
Because everybody household is a different dynamic.
Correct. But the roles are the same. There's the man and there's the woman. So if me and you get together and we split, Why do you feel like I should get less leaving than you just because you were the one working?
It's not that even less. It could be a situation where you should deserve more. I think
I'm talking realist. Okay, why 50-50?
I think first, I don't like just standard numbers in general because everything could be different. Like, let's say, for example, me and you do business together. Like, so you can't just say, hey, it's automatic going to be 50-50, but we don't know what exactly we're going to be doing. You get what I mean? So let's say
I'm the wife and you're the husband. So whatever we decide to do, we're doing.
If I'm doing everything, I'm making all the money, I'm putting all the stuff together, you're literally, let's say we don't even have no kids. You're literally not doing nothing. You're just sleeping in. Like, what was Scarface? She was sitting up, getting high. And,
hold on. Because this is what men say all the time. Okay. And I'm going to say, I'm not talking about the girl that does nothing, but you chose the girl that did nothing, right? There are going to be some girls who are going to motivate you, who are going to inspire you, who are going to keep the house just nice and clean. When you come home, it's peaceful. She's sewing into you so that you can go be your best self and go produce. So no, she wasn't doing anything at work. You told her to stay at home. Now she's at home.
She gets points. She deserves points.
So now that we're leaving, she done found her someone else. She was tired of boom. So why is there a problem that she gets? Because I'm saying in general, men have a problem with this 50-50.
Because I'm only gonna speak for me.
Correct.
I believe in that she should still get something because she may have put some dreams on hold. She may have put some things on, or she may have was helping out anyway, whether it was from cooking, whether it's to just mental, whatever it is. I do believe that she should get that. I'm talking about, I don't like the standard because we don't know everybody's relationship. That's the part I don't like.
It's the law. Like, I'm asking why as a man is that a problem? Why? Because because
when you walk into that courtroom, when you walk into that whole thing, before they even know anything besides y'all first and last name, it's like, here, this how much you paying. Wait, bro, we didn't even have a convo yet. That's what I mean. The standard of it's like this out the gate. You get what I mean? They treat it like, let's say NFL, let's say like NBA. This is how many minutes in a quarter. It's just set. Like we don't know who's playing. This how 4 quarters. That's how it's gonna go. So you walk into that room, it's like, okay, this your name. This how much you paying. Whoa, bro. How you doing? Like,
right.
Do you want to know a little bit about me first? You want to know a little bit about her? Do you want to know what's going on? That's what I mean by the standard. Like, it could be a situation where she should get way more. She should get way less. It could be a situation where I'm not talking about men versus women. That courtroom may be jerking her more than what she should be getting because it's a set standard, or vice versa. That's what I mean. But woman, definitely, if she's with you for X amount of time, she's supposed to get something. I'm not one of them guys, for sure. But like I said, I don't like how it's a set number out the gate. That's BS.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that makes sense now.
But I hear you. I hear
you. So what's your opinion? This is like before we close out. What's your opinion?
My opinion is women, you need to be able to provide your own lifestyle because although it is a 50-50, it costs money to go after things.
For sure.
And the law is always written on the man's side. And the law is written on the man's side because if the man's the provider and things go wrong, all of a sudden, if me and you break up, I'm sure some of these houses going to automatically be gone somewhere and money's going to be transferred somewhere. So the person who has more control of the finances is able to manipulate things so that the 50-50 is going to be a different number. It's still 50-50, but the number we're doing the 50-50 on is going to be a smaller number because you already did your own financial planning. That's what happens. More of that happening every day than a woman getting that big lick win. That's why you're paused. Great podcast.
No.
Yes.
That don't got nothing to do with man versus woman. That's just lawyers. The finesse was there, I think. Like houses just disappear, money disappear. The man or the woman can do that. That's just, they got some good counsel.
In most relationships, who's the breadwinner? The man. In most relationships, who's the person that's assumed to put their dreams on hold to help you? The man. In most relationships, is the man going to AAU basketball and cheer and Jack and Jill and Girl Scouts and Boy Scout? Are we asking you to leave your meeting to do that? Or is it assumed she's going to do that?
I'm doing that. I can only speak for me.
I'm saying
I can only speak for me.
Majority of the time. You're a super dad. Majority of the time, that responsibility is normally placed on who? So by design, the woman is in the more submissive role.
All right, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, right? What do you think that, what if the man is not telling a woman to put dreams on hold? What if the man is like, yo, you should be doing to do something. You should start this. And then you don't. And it doesn't work out. Who's at fault?
There is no fault.
Not at fault, but
it's
who,
still 50-50.
Is it still? No, okay, 50-50. I'm not mad at that. But the way the narrative, like, oh, I put everything on pause to go and help you, but the narrative never says the middle of the night conversation, yo, you should really go ahead and do something. You should go ahead and do that. You should go back. You should go to school. You should go to this. You go to this. But when everything is done, the narrative is like, oh, I put things on pause. No, I actually was telling you to start something a couple times and you didn't do it. So, like I said, I only can speak for me. What you saying is facts, though. I do know a lot of guys that's just bullshit. I do a lot of guys that's bullshit. But I do know some guys that's very, very solid and are signing off houses or giving out money without even the fight with the lawyers. Like, look, you can just have it. Like, I want to make sure you good regardless. Right. But they are, I think it's subjective. Because there are men that are just straight. Like, I'll tell them, like, bro, that was wrong. That wasn't a good thing. But there are some men that's like, no, listen, how much money or how many houses do you need or do you want part of this business?
Right.
What men, and this is for all women, but what men need to understand, the more security, like I said, give you, the less you got to worry about. If I set you up and you cool, that's probably less cover I got to worry about on the back end.
Right.
I'm thinking about the back end. Like, all right, you cool now, or you get, what do you need just so you can just go? So I don't got to deal with this on the back end. Because the sooner you just go, the quicker I can go ahead and thrive.
Correct.
You see what I mean? But that's a whole nother... That's a whole nother thing. I'm going to make sure I drop this in the bio. But how can they tap in with you? How can they make sure they're set up and they got assets protection? They got marketing. They pretty much got everything they need. What's your Instagram and what do you have that people can tap into?
You can follow me at Joi Hunt _ESQ, JOIHUNT _ESQ on Instagram. You can go to my website, joyhuntesq.com. And, you know, women, men, be able to structure, fund, and market your business to get to the bank.
There we go. And don't you got a masterclass too, right?
Masterclass, I do.
How can they tap in with that?
joyhuntesq.com. I have a link on there.
Bet. Well, thank you again. I appreciate the game you give the our man versus woman. I think that was good. I never did that on here. You about to have me crash out. But thank you again, and make sure y'all go to Joi Hunt. What's the website again?
joyhuntesq.com.
Make sure y'all go to joyhuntesq.com and tap in, because outside of all we just talked about, she 100% can get you guys to the bank. She 100% help you guys get your marketing better. She 100% help make sure your LLCs and your business and your assets are protected. I've personally seen her change thousands of lives, and hopefully you guys are next. But again, thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.